Today's Tanya begins with wrapping up the conversation of yesterday's Tanya. Yesterday's Tanya, the Alter Rebbe, as we mentioned, is dismantling the conventional understanding of what is a tzaddik, what is a beinoni, what is a rasha. In today's Tanya, the Alter Rebbe gives us a little understanding of what a tzaddik is. A tzaddik is someone not only who acts in a perfectly righteous way, but a tzaddik is someone who actually is perfect on the inside also and doesn't struggle at all. And again, this is a topic which we'll be revisiting in later chapters and getting a much better understanding of exactly what is the tzaddik, what is the beinoni, and the rasha in the understanding of the Alter Rebbe. But after that, in today's Tanya is where we're starting, you might want to say, the actual body of Tanya. And we start with one of the biggest ideas in Tanya, and arguably the most foundational idea in Tanya, which is the idea of the two souls. The two nefashos, the doctrine that every single one of us has not one soul, not one identity, but two identities. Why is it so important to know that we have two identities as opposed to one? I'm going to leave you in suspense till tomorrow for that. We'll talk about that tomorrow. But for today, the Alter Rebbe introduces the fact that every single person, every single Jewish person does have two souls. And in today's Tanya, we're introduced to the first soul. The first soul, which is known as the nefesh habahamis, which is the animal soul, which, by the way, is not the soul of an animal. It's a distinctly human soul, although it does bear some resemblances to the soul of an animal in that it is instinctive and impulsive and very self-centered. But it is a very uniquely very uniquely human soul. But this soul, which is throughout Tanya is going to be called the animal soul, we are going to find out a lot about it. But for the purposes, what Alter Rebbe talks about right now in today's Tanya, the Alter Rebbe tells us what is it? What is its substance? It is klipa. And what does that mean? That means that it is essentially egotistical and self-centered. That is what it is. And therefore, it's not bad necessarily. In fact, it can do good things also. That identity, the nefesh habahamis identity, is capable of doing wonderful things. Why? Because if I'm self-centered and I like to feel good, I like gratification, so it feels good to do good things also. Helping other people and being, so to say, selfless. Even if it seems to be selfless, it actually could be a very selfish thing. If I enjoy being selfless, then ultimately it's selfish, and that is the nefesh habahamis. So the first soul that we have, and it's first in the sense that it is our default identity, is the identity of the nefesh habahamis. It is egotistical, it is self-centered. It's not necessarily bad. It could do bad things, because sometimes for selfish reasons we are motivated to do bad things, but it is not necessarily so.